allegiance here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Thank you all for coming this evening. Opens Meeting Act is on the wall right there. If you have any questions about what that is, you can step on up and take a read. First order of business, we need a motion to excuse Brad Sherman this evening. Brock, Brandon. So this is going to be easy tonight.
It's going to alternate.
We'll just flip-flop it.
Okay, we're going to need a motion to excuse Burke.
What?
Whoop.
Got to do a vote.
Oh,
Okay.
vote. Lori.
Okay, Stroman,
Yes.
Buckner,
Yes.
Vonnegut.
Yes,
Do I have a motion to excuse Burke?
I move.
I second.
Okay. Brandon,
Buckner,
Yes.
Vonnegut,
Yes,
Stroman.
yes. Okay, and then we'll need an approval of the May 14th minutes.
I motion.
Brock,
I'll second.
Brandon,
It's a lot of control.
Stroman,
yes.
Buckner,
Yes.
Vonnegut.
Yes,
All right, now we're going to open things up to the public. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say this evening? Go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, it won't even take that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So, I initially had requested to be on the agenda to speak about the whole Placer AI program and wasn't able to do that. So I would just want to formally go on record as requesting that an informal town hall meeting take place so that members of the public can come in and hear both sides, not just one side of why it's good or why it's bad, because ultimately it's the citizens and residents of the area that are ultimately affected by this. And to kind of, not to be dramatic, but to, sacrifice their privacy on the altar of marketing, there's some very good points to it. There's excellent, excellent reasons why something like this works. There's also some very negative aspects to it, and I think the public should hear both sides. I've been contacted by a representative that gave written testimony for the state of Massachusetts at Duke University that reached out to me, and this is exclusively what he does, is present information. So not to say do this, don't do this, but to put it in front of the public so the public can actually be the ones to say yes or no, we want this. Because ultimately they would have to opt into the program anyways. And if half the people that show up aren't interested, they wouldn't opt in anyway, so then would it be worth it? And I'm not saying either way, vote for it, don't vote for it, just I'm asking that it be put in front of the public. Informal town hall meeting, it could be as easy as show of hands. Who thinks this is a good idea? Yes. Who thinks it's a bad idea? And get the information from there, rather than deciding for the public, so, that's all.
Thank you for your input. Appreciate it. Would anybody else like to comment? Anyone going once? Comments? All right. Paige, would you like to fill us in on the Chamber Quarterly Report? All right, cool. You want to do it and just sitting down?
Yeah,
No,
that
you
would be
can't.
preferred.
You got to come up.
Taking me back to high school days in public speaking, there's more people here than I was told there would be.
Just
here,
don't turn
so
around.
That's fine. Yeah, no
There's
kidding.
no one
No,
behind you.
No. So we got together as a chamber, and we miss Tasha dearly. So Tasha put together a few things, and I gave you all one of these annual reports for what we did last year, including all of our board members and things like that. I'm only in my second year on the chamber board, so I'm still learning a lot of what the chamber does, but in the last 2 years, my eyes have been opened to what exactly the chamber does. So I'm a believer in our chamber. We've had quite a few ribbon cuttings, and like public events that have gone over really well. I've been able to attend most of them, not all of them. So it's nice to see the public out like supporting our businesses, which is really cool. We do have some upcoming events. We have quite a few ribbon cuttings upcoming. I couldn't find all of them, therefore I did not mention all of them because it didn't seem right to mention one and not the rest of them. We also have our social hour next month coming up. As a board, we are getting together tomorrow for our normal board meeting, in the process of hiring for our new CEO and director.
Gotcha.
So that's about all that I have. Do you guys have any
Nothing else?
questions? I don't think so.
Guys have any questions? No?
I know that one of the things in our like contract is talking about housing, and obviously I work with Wolfpack, so there's not very many houses on the market. We only have 45, I think, and there's at least 6 that I know of that are all under contract. So houses are still moving, Sydney's still growing. There's still a lot of really good things happening in our town. So
Are you taking over for Tasha?
no. Nope. Tasha was a good fit, and so she'll be missed. But I am not her replacement by any means. No.
Sounds like a maybe.
No. No. She dedicated a lot of time to our community. So.
All right, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course.
the report.
You guys have any questions? No? Cool.
I think we're good.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's see, Resolution 20240-501, purchase of transportation buses.
You couldn't find an agenda item for their kids, or we'd have had the whole family here.
Okay,
We were thinking about doing the public part for them, just to get up here and ramble for a while.
I think that would have been fantastic.
Council, how are we doing today?
Good.
Good. Back here to talk about vehicles. This is my 3rd time now and still trying to procure a vehicle. This time I think we have better news. I think the state is taking it a lot more serious. Last time I was here, I asked for the Ford Transits. When those became ready to go onto the assembly line, they pulled the engine and the 4-wheel drive from the vehicles that the Nebraska had the contract with, which voided everything out, so we're back to square one. So I'm going to go back to the tried and true. I'm going to ask for 2 12+2 passenger buses. Those are the ones that we have out right now. That would be, for us, it would cost about $18,400 would be what the cost of those 2 brand-new buses would be. You can't beat that. The only change I would say is we still pay 10%, but now the federal government is paying 85% and the state is only paying 5%, but we're still paying our 10%, which hasn't changed. Other than that, I have the little graph there because I didn't want to bore you with the monthly one I did last time, so I did the yearly one, and we still have May and June to add to that those numbers. So obviously you can see what we're doing is working. So they say it's 180 days out from when we get this signed, so hopefully around December, January, we should have our 2 new buses and we can continue to look at other vehicles and stuff like that. But right now, I'll just go for the 2 and go from there
Okay.
with your guys' acceptance.
That sounds good. Do you guys have any questions?
Is it 18,000 for both of them, or?
Nope, for both of them. Yep, it's 9,200 for each bus is all we have to put forward.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Good job.
And then I still have our name in for Ford Transit if they do figure out the contract, because by the time we get these 2 buses, we'll have probably 3 buses over 100,000 miles and a 4th one creeping up. So we're going to have to start to look to kind of become regularly scheduled to kind of get caught back up to where we were with replacing vehicles, so.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 20240-501?
I move.
That's second.
Brandon Brock.
Buckner,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Stroman.
Yes.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yep, you got it. Thank you. Economic Development Marketing Tool.
Are you wanting to?
All right, so it sounds like during public comments, we want to table it, which I think is a good idea. I think we should definitely have more people here when we make a decision like this. But I would like to know y'all's opinion on the open public meeting where we get people's opinion on the tool. Do we want to, because tonight we were supposed to have a presentation from Placer AI. He was going to come in, answer questions that you might have for him based on our concerns we've had in the past. I've talked to third parties as we discussed and gotten their opinion on it and how they think it's going for them. And then I did have Corey Keene coming, but he turned around once he heard that we were going to table this for tonight. So I would like to know what everyone's thoughts are on this.
I think, obviously, it makes sense to have Burke and Brad here for whatever we're going to be doing moving forward. Maybe we can discuss with David
fine.
about
That's fine.
how we feel about doing a public forum. And if we do that, I would think that would be the right time for your gentleman to do a presentation, if we were going to go down that road.
Yeah.
So I do agree that we should table it until next meeting. And then how would we decide whether we're going to do
Well-
a public meeting or not?
That's up to council how you want to do that. I would suggest you do exactly what you're doing. If you want to have Brad and Burke here and table it till the next meeting, do whatever we were going to do tonight, right?
Right.
And then if you still are unsatisfied, then maybe decide to take a different route. That would be my suggestion.
So maybe have them come next time, and then if we feel like we need to go to a public meeting after that, then we can proceed.
Because we were already going to do that anyway,
Okay.
so we might as well at least
Okay.
hear what the actual
Do I need a
presentation is.
motion to table?
You do.
You do need a motion to table at the
All right.
next meeting.
So can I, do you have a
Did you get
question?
from what you needed from us? Did you want our opinion, or you just wanted the opinion on the table?
It was just an opinion on my part, but if they have to motion to table it, then
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think we need to have, first of all, you just got the three of us.
Buzz, yeah.
Without the, obviously the mayor and another councilman, that's not even the full council, but for us to take a step with something like that, I think the community definitely needs to be involved, and
Yeah.
instead of just the five of us saying, yeah, we're going to open up your information and go from there.
So why don't we get a motion to table this until the next meeting?
I move.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, there we go.
There you go.
Bonnegar,
Yes.
Stroman,
Yes,
Buckner.
Yes.
I just want to wrap that up with, I have an open door for anyone who has questions at all times.
okay.
I'm there if someone wants to have a discussion. I am the facilitator of discussion, and that is mainly what my position is. I open up ideas for you, and I bring them to the table. If we don't like them, we don't like them, and it's okay to say no to things. If we like it, I have things to gain. If we don't, I personally have nothing to gain. So it's-
Gotcha, right.
Appreciate
Whatever's
that.
going to help out the community
Yeah.
I think is a good thing. And you have something else that.
Yes, I'm next. I'm also up again.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is in regards to going after another grant for the Northside Park. The City of Sydney has invited proposals for the Northside Park revitalization project design. The project scope includes creating design plans and project cost estimates for engineering and construction to enhance and upgrade the approximately 2-acre Northside Park. These plans will include adding new ADA accessible playground equipment, exercise equipment, the construction of multi-use paths through the park, the construction of reasonable-sized community pavilion, a splash pad, and the possible addition of a public restroom, educational signage, wayfinding signage, and native and/or drought-tolerant landscaping. The RCRP program, which is Rural Community Recovery Program, is a one-time fund for grants to political subdivisions in Nebraska to build strong, healthy communities through investment in neighborhoods. One of the purpose areas for the grant is for the installation of public features and the revitalization of public spaces. We would be requesting $800,000 within our grant application, and there is no match required for that program. So I have a letter that I would need you to sign. It's our letter of intent that we intend to apply for the grant.
It's a grant, right? So it's not a loan.
Right,
So they're giving us this money so that we can use it for revitalization projects,
yes.
correct? Okay, just want that to be clear.
Mr. Vice Mayor, if I may, I just want to know, this also, we are still applying through the Game and Parks as well. This is just another tool, and we want to use as many of them as we possibly can. You never know which ones are gonna stick, but we want to apply for whatever opportunities we possibly can for that park, so.
That was my question. I was like,
Yep,
I'm still gonna-
we are still, and if given both, we can use this one as a match to the other one as well, so that would be also a big
We don't have
plus.
to
so.
match.
This one doesn't require it, but the other one does, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a win-win.
I like it. You guys have any questions?
Nope.
Motion to approve, we need a motion to approve this, yes? Motion to approve the letter of intent for Rural Community Recovery Program Funds.
My motion?
I'll second.
Stroman,
Yes,
Buckner,
Yes.
Bonnegar.
Yes.
good job. I like it.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
All right, now we've got the mean waiver agreement.
Yes, that
See
one.
you hiding back there.
Right in the big guns, huh?
I see you hiding, he's hiding right behind Casey's head.
So I'll give a quick history, but most of you remember, City of City Council had opted a while back, opted out of the new Schedule M agreement with Mean and their other communities. Since then, we've been spending a lot of time working with them, city staff, myself, Jay Leaf, former electric superintendent Mike Palmer, have spent a lot of time working with them to figure out what this looks like and how it will work going forward. It is a lot of moving parts and a lot of decisions to be made to figure out how we move to as what Mean has deemed to be a contract purchaser. There are a lot of facets to it, but what we do know for sure right now is that we're kind of under the gun to get something done because there are some unforeseen changes coming to the region that whatever we would work out with Mean, and I'll let Mike get into the technical details of that, whatever we would work out with Mean would more than likely have to change in the next couple of years anyway because of the unforeseen changes that are coming to the region in the area of municipal power. So we don't want to spend a year putting something together that a year later we'll have to revamp. And Mean is working with us on this, so I appreciate them and I appreciate their staff and their board. I went to their board meeting, I think it was just last week. Last 3 days, is that right? 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, right after the last council meeting. I did attend their board meeting, and what we've kind of worked on, and we've been trying to work out with them, is some sort of a waiver to allow us to continue to work with them as we always have under the current Schedule M until such time when we could get the details with all the new developments worked out for the area. So what the waiver would do was essentially make it so that we would operate as we always have with them, right? At least for the next couple of years until we can work out all those other details. What the sticking points are, of course, even with a waiver, there are sticking points, right? They have some things that they kind of wanted, and we had some things that we kind of wanted in this waiver. Now, we are, as I said, in a time constraint. We need to make a decision by middle June, so we need to make a decision probably very soon on getting this worked out. Some of the sticking points for them in the original format that they gave us, they had drafted the original waiver, and some of the sticking points we had was anything over 15 megawatts. They were wanting any additional power we would need. They had kind of some very vague kind of, I would call it biased language on how they can charge us for those additional megawatts should we need them. And I think it even said in the attachment that the board would just decide what they were going to charge us. Well, we weren't a big fan of that and wanted it tied to something a little bit more towards what the rest of their members are paying for any additional power that they would need over their normal demand. And so they're willing to work with that. One of their sticking points, I guess, from us was we had wanted in our version that we can go wherever we want for those other additional megawatts. We can go do whatever we want for it. We don't have to get them from you. And they kind of wanted to say, hey, in the original one, you did buy them from us, and we'd like you to still buy them from us. So I think we can work this out. I think we're very close. I think those two concessions can easily be made with the right verbiage and the right language and the right legalese. They are very much wanting to do that, and so are we. So what I'm asking for tonight, though, is for the council, and they passed they passed a resolution saying the exact same thing I'm asking for the council to do tonight. They passed at their board meeting a resolution saying that they would allow their Mean board staff, not the whole entirety of their board, which is quite a few people, every municipality that they serve, but their staff to work on this waiver with our city staff, which would be me, our legal counsel, and former and current electric superintendent. So what we're wanting to know is, ask the council to vote tonight to allow Jay and Mike and I and the current electric superintendent to work out these details and get this waiver in place, because we don't know that we'll have time to come back to the boards, and that's why they did it too. They know they're not going to have time to convene their entire board, but we are very close, and I think it would be beneficial to everybody. But I do want you to hear from Mike Palmer, because I think he'll probably give a little more technical spiel on what it is we're wanting to do than what I'm saying. Do you want to speak to the SPS a little bit? That's where I'm a little bit lacking, I think.
Good evening, Council. Mike Palmer. I told you I'd be back.
Not this year.
Just didn't know, in this capacity. But, yeah, as David said, we're working in conjunction with Mean to try to come up with an agreement that is mutually beneficial. So really the issue that we're running into right now is there's an RTO coming to the west, which is Regional Transmission Organization. It's scheduled to start April 1st of 2026. So anything we would do under the contract purchaser situation up until that time is going to get washed away after April 1st, 2026, because they're kind of rewriting rules. So it seemed when we first started going down this road, it seemed a little bit cumbersome to go through all this work, and then in April of 2026, which is literally around the corner, right? Redo it all again. So as Mean kind of started turning over some stones, they every time they turned over a stone, they found another one that needed to be turned over. So we started talking together and seeing if there's some way that we could come to an agreement in the interim from now until April 2026, but then even maybe thereafter in some sort of a waiver agreement on the contract purchaser situation. As David said, I think all the things we've talked about right now, we can work out. And also be known that we're working with a couple other entities right now if this doesn't work, because timing is of the essence. So as David kind of mentioned, what we need is just some flexibility to work with whoever Mean to see if we can get this wrapped up. Because SPP, which is going to be leading the charge in the RTO, really wants to know by the middle of June who our market participants going to be. So who's going to be doing our market activities on the city's behalf, whether it be Mean or some other organization. They want us to say this is who this is going to be. So that's really the essence of what we're doing, is just trying to get this thing going by the middle of June.
As long as we're not, because I think the reason we decided to opt out was because of the length of time that they were asking us to lock into that contract. As long as we're not locking ourselves into a lengthy contract that we really don't have much control over, I don't see
I don't see a problem
any
with that.
reason why we can't
So the length
negotiate with them.
the length of the contract's going to be identical to what the contract is now. So, so the schedule and contract that we are operating under up until the time that, a time to be determined, whether it's the life of the bonds or the life of the projects, that's something to be argued at a different point, that is the contract this will be tied to. So we're not extending that time by no means. So I contend that the time is 2041. That's when that's when the bonds are paid off. And when I believe that there's reasonable expectations that you could look elsewhere, they're going to give you a different answer. I promise you that. But it wouldn't go past that. So it'd be directly tied to the contract that we're working under right now.
So what would the waiver grant us?
The waiver would allow us to continue to buy power from Mean over our contract purchaser limit. So the way the contract reads as of date is once the project that we opted out of in Exhibit D becomes commercially operational, they look back a year and they lock in your contract demand rate. So let's just say for ease, that's 15 megawatts. So that project starts today, they look back a year, It's 15 megawatts. If the city were to ever exceed that 15 megawatts, we would need to go out and procure that energy over and above that, which with our generation, we can. I mean, if we need to put a megawatt on, if you recall from our conversations, and don't quote me on this number, I kind of reverse engineered that back when we were making those decisions. And I want to say the previous, so looking backwards instead of in the future as we would exceeded that, the amount of energy for 38 hours in 5 years. Barring a large load coming in, we're talking about minuscule hours. I mean, just normal load growth, it's probably not, you're probably not going to be looking for open market participation that much. Does that make sense?
But this waiver would in no way supersede your decision
No.
you made earlier.
Okay,
We will still be negotiating that, like Mike said, that's going to be something that's going to take us a while to work through, but this just allows us to continue while we're doing that.
okay, gotcha,
That's what I
gotcha.
would- yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So we're just making it okay to continue to negotiate, and if we have to buy power, they want to have first right.
No, if we sign the waiver, we will be purchasing them excess hours from Mean rather than from an outside entity or producing it ourselves.
At a locked-in price, not like what David's saying.
That's what we need to negotiate, right, is,
Yeah.
it needs, so our contention is that needs to be tied to the rate, not some arbitrary number that can be made up in time. It needs, so there will be a premium, and there should be. I mean, if I were on the other, if I were wearing the other hat, there should be a premium for that, because we're gonna pay someone else a premium as well. You know, the other entities we're working with, I mean, we're going to pay for that one way or the other. And I think what we would probably come back to you with at the end of the day and say this was decision, is the one that's the most economical, right? Like, it's not, we're not gonna recommend something that is not in the, yeah, I mean, foolish, because it just doesn't make sense. We're paying 50% more, that makes little sense.
okay. I just-
But the contract itself is the contract, and it's tied directly to our current contract. It doesn't extend that contract at all.
Gotcha,
You've already voted
Right.
to opt out.
Yep.
And that's not going to change.
Right.
Now we have to figure out what opting out looks
Looks
like
Okay.
and
Yep.
negotiate those terms within the limits that have already been set.
perfect. Do you guys have any questions? No. No? All right, so let's, motion to,
Would it be a motion to allow our city staff to
Negotiate.
negotiate the waiver,
And negotiate the waiver agreement.
waiver agreement with me?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Brandon.
It's good talking to you guys again.
Seeing you.
Hey, get back more obvious, don't be a stranger.
Okay, Buckner,
Yes.
Sondergaard,
Yes.
Stroman.
Yes.
Again.
Dave?
Yep, is it back to
City
me?
Manager's report?
Well, what a nice transition this would be. I'd like to introduce, if you would, really quick, Tom Methane is our new electric superintendent and assumed his duties Monday. So he's been here, learning quickly, and we want to welcome him. So, do you want to say anything about yourself?
Sure.
Methane.
Thank you, David.
You bet.
Just a little bit about myself. I moved to Sydney in 2004 and grew to love this town and everybody in it. And but my history, I've worked a little bit with Tri-State Generation and Transmission on 10 years with Wheat Belt Public Power and 10 years with Burke County Public Power. And that's about me. So just wanted to say hello.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, that worked out perfectly without being the last item, right? Anyway, and a couple other things, just a quick update on projects. Jackson Street is moving along nicely. All the new residential water hookups are done now. Everybody is now on the new water main. And so they still have a little bit of work to do to cap off the old one. So what they'll start doing this week is working on curb, gutter, some sidewalk. They'll finish capping off that old water main, and then here in the next week or two, they'll start paving back the middle section of the 2 blocks that they've got tore up right now, which is 17th to 19th, and then they'll move after that to the next 2 blocks, the 19th to 21st, and start the process all over again, right? But it's moving along nicely. I talked to a couple people out there, the citizens that were on site, and said they didn't even notice when the water switched over. It was so convenient and easy for them. One lady actually wanted me to thank everybody and so for what a wonderful job we're doing, and I was very appreciative of the council and myself and the water department and everybody else for getting this done for them, getting that street remodeled. So I appreciated her comments. The parking lot and trail project. Oh, what?
Did you mean Jackson Street or
Jackson,
Forest Street?
I'm sorry, I always say Forest Street.
Thank you.
I always say Jack, because they're working on 14th and Jackson too, on the street project. God darn it. Keep getting 2 projects mixed up. We have a lot going on right now. The power generation, a solar project, a street, a trails and parking lot. And then the trails and parking lot, they have the pool parking lot completely done, and the entryway into it is all paved now. And they have it connected on the one end. What they'll start doing this week is connecting the other side around Ball Field 4. That's what they'll be doing probably the next 2 weeks, is connecting that portion of the pool to the rest of the trail system throughout the city. So that's where they're going the next couple of weeks there. I also, while we're still on projects, I know you got some invites at your seats today. The solar project ground breaking will be June 18th at 10 a.m. They're calling the address 150 East Elm, but you know the area. It's right out there by the entryway to the recycling plant. That's where they're going to be putting in that solar thing. So I don't know if it's an actual address, but that's what they're saying the address is. So that's where that'll be on June 18th at 10 a.m. So hopefully we'll have some mayor or council members or whatever show up for that. That would be great. I also wanted to thank really quickly our Parks Department. I attended the Memorial Day ceremony, as I do every year, out in the cemetery for all our wonderful veterans. And the very first thing the speaker did before he did anything else was thank the city park staff for how fantastic the cemetery looked and how wonderful it was this year. And it just is, it was absolutely beautiful. So. It was a fine tribute to our veterans, and I wanted to thank. I don't think anybody from Parks is here tonight, but I just wanted to thank them for that and let them know that people noticed that and it was appreciated. So that's all I had, I think, for tonight.
All right. Well, I guess the last thing on our agenda was Brad getting a pie in the face. He's not here, so we're going to have to excuse the pie in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Table the pie.
Yeah, we'll table the pie.
We'll table
We're going to
the
table the pie. What's it? No, that is not.
It's not the vice mayor's
It's not the vice mayor's job. No. I recuse myself of being pied.
If he's free, they might even be willing to do it this Saturday. I don't know. And that when the event's this Saturday, isn't it?
We'll square it up.
The trash race.
Oh, I happen to know the KSB lady. I can
Yeah.
ask her.
I know I'm supposed to be there at 9 a.m. Saturday.
Track him down.
Whenever they decide to do, let us know.
I think he's out of town. Well,
However they want to do it.
Lori, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just that we've gotten about 14 applications for the farmer's market, which is it starts the last Saturday of June.
Wow. Fantastic. Anything new? Fun?
Oh, we have lots of new vendors.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Jay?
You may have seen in the paper, I'm retiring, but I'm sticking with the city until the end of the year, so,
Fantastic. Congratulations.
thank you.
All right. Dave?
Congratulations.
Yes, so don't get too nervous
No,
just yet, right?
no, I'm around till you've got somebody else, not a problem.
Perfect.
Dave, you got anything?
That's all I had, I think, was what I'd said, so I don't
All
have
right.
anything else.
No?
No?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Hit it.
The summer reading program is starting at the library. Officially, it starts Saturday, and you can come in anytime in June to sign up. We have for kids, teens, and adults. And some people are so excited about it, we already have 32 kids signed up.
Wow,
So,
fantastic. Great. Pete?
Looks like you did pretty good tonight.
What do we got?
17 views.
Wow,
Here
look,
for the
our
pie
ratings are up.
invitation.
That was coming for the pie.
Do we have consent, how many at the same time, or was it just over the whole
That was the whole thing. Right now you
35
have
minutes?
8 live right now.
It's terrible. Whatever. So we have some
After
serious
the pie was
drop-off.
tabled.
We just can't keep them interested.
Once they knew there was no pie.
Well, after the pie was tabled.
All right, it's cool. Ready?
I just want to say, I think Brad's running scared.
He's afraid of the
Fear.
pie.
Yeah,
You
it's
hear
been
that,
here all
Brad?
May.
They think you're a chicken.
He dodging.
Casey.
We had 181 rides this month, which is our highest of all time, so our dispatch and our guys are working hard, so big thanks to all those and thanks to all the riders.
Great. Pete, I know you love public speaking.
I forgot, I'm the chairperson for the Girls' Day Out event, and I was super surprised. We had people lined up an hour before bag handout. Bags were given out within like 50 minutes, and we had people from Sterling and Cheyenne all show up
Wow,
to support
nice.
local business.
Joe,
Nothing.
man of many words.
I have one more then. If we're given accolades, the Sydney Transportation is working with a veteran social club and providing free transportation for all the veterans. And they did not have to do that, and I think it's wonderful that they're doing that, and they're partnering with us and the Veteran Social Club to be able to make sure that any veteran who wants to go to the social club, the social meeting, that they can.
Great, thank
I
you.
think that's really awesome.
Big time.
Awesome.
That's good stuff.
Brad?
I want to say congratulations to the state track meets, or the state track participants that brought a lot of medal home.
All right,
That's it.
Rock?
Just glad to be riding around and seeing all the city workers, being on all the projects, getting things done when we started. Love to hear all the comments about growth in the city, hearing about highest riders and people showing up in lines and stuff like that. It just shows that Sydney's in the right direction, continuing to attract the right type of people to help our city be a desired place to be and do business.
All right, yeah. Sydney's a great place to live. There's a lot of fantastic things happening here in the town. And I think we should thank everybody that's involved in making those things happen. So thank you all for doing your part and ensuring that we continue to move forward with progress here in this great city of ours. And with that, 6:07 something, because I can't see that far.